what we fear deep inside is not failure. It is success. We fear success because we don't know if we are worthy of it. We don't know if we can sustain it, and how and who to be after we have that success. Because we've never really believed deep inside that we could have it all, the best, the perfect, the greatest. It always remained like a dream far away, something that would be nice to have, but never really thinking through or seeing ourselves worthy of having it. Though you may not realize this is the blockage you have between you and your desired reality, not seeing yourself worthy of it. And the core reason behind this is not loving yourself fully, unconditionally. In this video, we'll talk about self-love, how to love yourself, who's to love, who's self, and what does really love mean actually. The definition might differ for everyone, but we're going to touch on to some concepts that are really important for reality creation, and we will break it down into very simple concepts to see these two words, self and love, are so simplistically self-explanatory that they are usually overlooked and not fully understood. So in terms of reality creation, how does self-love relates? It's really a matter of self-concept, and self-concept is a matter of spirituality in essence, but we're not gonna dive deeper on that for this video. I will just slightly touch on to why it might be blocking you from creating the reality that you want. So simply, it is because you don't love yourself fully, therefore you don't see yourself worthy, therefore there is a subconscious resistance towards your desires and your desired reality. And this subconscious resistance actually manifests itself in your actions, in people you attract, situations you attract, and circumstances that you put yourself into. Like maybe you're self-sabotaging your success, or a love, or a friendship. And so not loving yourself fully is also a matter of acceptance. We will talk about this in a minute, but because you don't accept yourself, you're not capable of loving yourself unconditionally. Therefore, you're projecting and giving that energy to outside, to the universe, to people, that I don't accept myself. I don't accept that energy. I don't accept that part of me, so that you can also reject that. So that universe knows also that I'm just close to some energies. I'm not fully in alignment. I'm not fully accepting and honoring myself, that divine essence, that divine being. What do you think that means? You ask for love, you ask for abundance, which are your true nature, which are already you. That consciousness, that conscious awareness, that energy, that form of frequency, you are already that. And if you're not accepting yourself fully and rejecting some parts or judging yourself, it means I'm going to do the same for my desires. Because when they come, I will not see that abundance, that love, that energy, but I will find something to judge and reject. So you should be aware that your language with yourself is your language with the universe. Universe is universe. Universe is no different than you are. You are the universe. Universe is you. You are coming from the same consciousness, that same essence, that divine source. And the whole universe is coming from that creative power. You don't love yourself, you don't accept yourself, so you don't see yourself worthy, or you don't accept the energy, you judge it, so the universe doesn't give it to you because you judge and reject certain energies. You're not grateful for what you already have. You don't appreciate it. So it knows you're not going to appreciate what you desire as well. If we come to the point of what is really self-love, how to love yourself, what is self and what is love? The meaning is hidden in the words self and love. So let's start with self. What is self? Who is there to love? What you need is first self-awareness. Without becoming aware of yourself, of that you are, it's not going to be easy to love yourself to the deepest, to the core, because at the core, the essence of you is that consciousness, that divine power, creative power, that divine energy. And as that consciousness, that all there is in everything, everyone, you should be able to see yourself detached from your physical form, which is your body, which is your mind, your thoughts, and also from your ego being, which is your thought identities, that learned ways of being. We've been conditioned by the society, by societal norms, by definitions, by certain identities like being a teacher, mother, daughter, entrepreneur, or whatever. So these are all thought forms. These identities have certain conditioning, programming. Dissolving these identities and raising above them is actually a process of unbecoming what you've been taught to be. In essence, you are a consciousness, a conscious awareness, and that is the same consciousness that created that universe, that the higher intelligence there is. You may call it God, universe, whatever, but the higher intelligence, that creative power, is what you really are. We are like drops in an ocean, and you can't say that this one drop is not the ocean, not the water, because in essence both are the same molecules, both are the same water essence. And so to love yourself, first you need to find the self. To find the self, you need to become aware of the self. Actually, you can't really become aware of the self, but you become aware of the physical, mental being, that human form of you, or this ego being that you have, so that you can detach from it. It's the same concept as the law of polarity. So the ego being helps you to find your true nature, your essence, the higher self, that consciousness, the self. So now you can start knowing yourself. It's no surprise that this phrase is written in Delphi Temple and it lasted for hundreds of years. It holds a core truth. To love someone, you need to know that person. And same goes for you. You need to know yourself like no one could ever do. And this knowing yourself exists in 3 separate levels: physical, mental, and spiritual. We talked about spiritual, the self, knowing the self. And physically, knowing yourself is knowing your body, knowing its reactions, recognizing its signals, giving meaning to your emotions, knowing when to rest, knowing when you have physical needs, what your body is telling to you, and how you can make it feel better. On a mental level, knowing yourself is knowing your thought processes, knowing your mentality, observing your habitual thoughts as well, your subconscious thoughts, beliefs. I think it's fair to say it's about knowing your conscious and subconscious mind. Really diving deeper here, maybe also knowing your shadows, your triggers, your boundaries, what you can tolerate, what you can't tolerate. This also relates to self-love, but it's a mental process, and you can think about it, you can write it down to know yourself better. So you have a portrait, right? You have this person, you, and she has this kind of beliefs, values, shadow sides, memories, meanings, aspirations, all of that. So now you're one step closer to loving yourself. And third comes accepting yourself. If you want to love someone fully, truly, unconditionally, you need to accept that person first. And there is no reason to think differently when it comes to self-love, because when you judge yourself, when you deem certain parts of you right or wrong, good or bad, beautiful or ugly, you put that blockage energetically, as well as the separation between you and that love, If you're judging and rejecting some parts of you, what do you think that means? You're emanating that energy that there is something to reject. There is something in me that can be judged, that is not right, that is shameful, and I don't accept it. So you may not as well accept it, and it's okay. You can only judge yourself if you're thinking from the third dimension, from the physical reality. Because in the fourth, fifth dimensions, when you alter the state of consciousness, you will see the conscious awareness, the self, the true self, is that consciousness, and it's the God's consciousness, the same frequency. So there is nothing to be judged. There is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing ugly about that. It's just pure love. You were pure love when you were born. As kids, we didn't know how to hate something. We didn't really know how to judge something. Kids are just so unconditionally loving. They love everything. They're curious. And there is just so much love to have. This was our nature. That pure love is again how we are conditioned and programmed in society and in our lives. So when you begin the process of unbecoming and unlearning all the identities and everything you think you know, you will be removing the blockages that were built against your true nature. Again, quoting from Rumi, your task is not to seek for love, but to seek the barriers that you built against it. You are already that, right? You are already that love, abundance, wholeness, creation, that force. You are that energy already. You just need to remove the barriers, to find it, to tap into that true nature. And it's a process of unlearning. It's a process of unbecoming. So if we go back to self-acceptance, as you already know yourself to a certain extent, you can't never really say, I know myself, because we're always ever changing, because we are creations in progress. We will be evolving, changing, and developing, growing every single day. There is no end to it. But when you know yourself with your weaknesses, insecurities, shadows, strengths, and you accept yourself without putting any judgments or labels on it, it also relates to our creations and manifestations on earth. And I'm going to give you this example from one of my clients. We were working on her ideal relationship. She wanted to create that reality that she was in love with that ideal partner. We discovered one day that she was always judging everyone and trying to change literally everything. Changing furniture, changing clothes, judging people on the street, judging people in a coffee shop, just being judgmental everywhere for no reason. No reason. She was just having fun with it. Actually, it was really so much fun for her, and she was laughing. The way she approaches to the whole universe was based on judgments, need to change, rejection. Do you see the blockage? Like, it's so apparent, right? She doesn't accept anything as it is, but everything in the universe is just is. There is no good or bad. It's all in the mind. There is no good or bad. It's just an energy. And if you don't accept this energy, how can you think you can accept love energy? Those are not really different from each other. This was also a reflection of her communication with herself. She was also judgmental towards herself. She didn't accept herself fully, unconditionally. So without loving herself, she didn't really know how to love anybody. Literally, she told me, like, I never loved someone. And I didn't even know that. And as we worked on it and removed that blockage, we opened her heart to everything and everyone without any judgments, just accepting everything as it is, as energies. And that energy, that space allowed her to feel love for the first time. So this example displays how accepting yourself, accepting everything as it is the way to self-love. And there's one other thing, as I mentioned, on a deeper level, on the fourth, fifth dimensions, which is that acceptance towards other people and their energies. So you might be one of those people who feels other people's energies and get affected by that, or that have this evil image of humanity in mind. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you feel like people are gonna harm you. You need to protect yourself. You need to protect your energy. Or people are bad inherently. So let me ask you this. If you're with me until this far, to see the self as that consciousness in everything, in everywhere, and everybody, and that we are all the parts, the drops of the ocean. So we are the same, actually. Everybody is divine in essence. How do you think that people are different from you? Because what you do, what you give out to the universe is what you get. And how you treat someone is how you be treated, is how you're treating yourself. They are no different than you. As you are the universe, you are everyone in the universe, because everybody is a part of the universe. As you are a consciousness, everybody is a part of that same consciousness, that higher intelligence. How do you think you're separate from them? How do you think they're different than you? Well, they are not. And also, that idea of protection, they are bad and I need to protect myself. They are bad and I need to protect my energy, is creating that separation, which is not real, because there is no separation in the world. And this is another concept. I'm not going to go deeper again on this, but there's no separation, and you are one with them. You are the same with them. We are all love inherently. We are all that pure love, unconditional love on a conscious level. So how do you think you can protect yourself from yourself? Or why do you think you need protection? That label you put on other people and their energies is creating that idea of separation. And when you think from that idea of separation, you never fully experience true love. True love doesn't hold space. True love doesn't hold separation. If you're judging them, you're judging yourself. If you're rejecting their energy, you're rejecting yourself. This was slightly a deeper perspective on the topic. If we continue with self-love, fourth comes the act in practice, which is to love. Here I want to talk about the state of love more than the act of love, because the state of love is more important to feel and embody, to love yourself. Because love can be conditioned for some of us. Love can be limited. Love can be scarce. Love can be dependent. So we need to free that love, that definition, and free it from all sorts of conditions, limitations, and actually subjects and objects. Because love itself, as a feeling state, as a form of energy, that you don't need to point that love, direct that love to a certain person or an object or a situation, but you can simply feel it and be in it, be present in it. And this presence in love is really what makes you glow up. Everybody sees that, everybody compliments that, because you're in love. You don't necessarily love yourself or someone else or the world. You are in love, which means you are love yourself, and you're emanating that love towards anything, everything, without discrimination, without judgments, without conditions. And there's no limits to your love. It's not like you have a limited amount of love, and when you give to people, give, and you don't take anything in exchange, you're exhausted. Love is nothing like this. Love can't be limited. And if you need to meet certain conditions to love yourself, this is not true love. You gotta change the definition. So maybe here it's more convenient to think about love as a form of energy. And when you love yourself, or when you're in love, you are matching a certain frequency, and that frequency creates a reality where you can love yourself more, where you can be loved by others more. So you attract certain experiences, certain situations and people to be able to love yourself more, because you're in love. You match the frequency of love. You are already love. As embodying that energy, you are attracting more of it. 3D reality is a mirror, and it always responds to your frequency. If you want to love yourself, you can just embody the love itself, that feeling state. You don't need to love yourself for certain reasons, for your success, for your look, your income, your boyfriend, family. You can just be in love for no reason. This is the form of love that is unconditional, that is the true nature of you, that embodiment, that consciousness, that energy. But in practice, let's talk about this a little. When it comes to practice, self-love, if you love yourself, so if you love that physical, mental, and spiritual being, there are certain acts you should be doing to prove that love, to show that love. And one of them is investment. Invest in yourself to learn more skills, to read more, to see more, travel more, to earn more, or to be a better person, to be more intellectual, to be the best version of you. Invest in yourself. And second, keep your promises. Keeping your promises will develop self-love, self-respect, self-worthiness, and discipline. Discipline is a form of self-love. Each time you don't keep your promises, you are disrespecting yourself, and your brain knows it. Your body knows it. It recognizes the feeling. You're diminishing your self-concept. If you're not going to keep it, don't make any promises. If you made a promise, just keep it. No matter what. Just keep it. This is the way you show love to yourself. This is the way you prove yourself that you are worthy, that you deserve that love. Because the way you keep your promises to yourself is the way the universe keeps promises to you. If you don't keep your promises, don't expect the universe to keep promises to you, right? It's not that it is a promise, but if you don't give that love, that discipline to yourself, how do you expect it to receive from the universe or someone else? And third, when we think about love on a surface level and in terms of relationships, we always talk about to be seen, to be heard, right? If you relate these concepts with love in a relationship, you should be relating these with self-love as well, because you need to be heard. You need to be understood. And your body, your emotions, your thoughts are signals. They want to be heard. They want you to hear them, to recognize them. And so when you listen to yourself during a meditation, a walk, cooking or whatever, when you listen to yourself, to your body, it tells you something. And you should honor that. Not reject it. Again, just accept it as it is. Don't put any judgments on it. Just listen to yourself and hear what it says. Hear what it's trying to tell you. It has an importance because your emotions are telling you something. Your body is telling you to rest, to move on, to stretch or move or just sleep, right? Just listen to it, because your body is a vehicle for your human experience. Without a healthy body, without a healthy mind, you can't have a healthy mentality, healthy spirituality. So it's so essential for your experience, for the reality creation. And so when you listen to yourself, your body and your mind, you will also become aware of your needs, your physical, emotional, and mental needs. So meet them. Don't expect someone else to meet your needs. Fill your cup first and by yourself. Fill your cup, meet your needs, give it to yourself, whatever you need. If you need love, love yourself. If you need rest, just rest. If you need to slow down, slow down. It's okay. Loving yourself is meeting your needs, not only physical, but emotional, also mental. Your thoughts are waiting to be heard, and they are trying to tell you something. So hear them, listen to them, hear them. And if you can, relax yourself, calm the mind, calm the body. And I think second most important here is removing external attachments. Every time you attach your worth, your needs, seeking external validation, expecting others to meet your needs, or just simply not filling your own cup and expecting circumstances, materials, or other people to fill your cup, is enslaving you. And deep down, you know that you are a slave. You're not free. You are addicted to external validation or materials or circumstances to feel content, happy, fulfilled, whole, abundant, fully detached from them. If deep inside you know that you're taking your freedom away by enslaving yourself, by attaching your worth or your happiness, your contentment, fulfillment to materials, people, objects, things, whatever, one part of you will keep blaming yourself, right, for that, for doing that. And that blame, that guilt is gonna eat you up, and it's gonna lower your vibration to the dip. The true freedom is freedom from yourself, freedom from your subconscious programming, also freedom from your thoughts, emotions, your attachments. So free yourself to love yourself. Finally, and practically finally, I just want to say, own your life, okay? There is no coincidence in life. There is no fate in life. It's just your creation. And as Carl Jung said, unless the subconscious become conscious, we call it fate. But it is really just a product of yours. You create your reality. You create your future. You create every second, every moment, and every people you attract. And what you attract, whom you attract, you create all of that. You can't just overlook this and let go of that control and have a random life. There is no self-respect in it. There is no self-control, self-regulation in it. There is no self-love in it. If you love yourself, you would give yourself the best possible life, the best possible future. And if you love yourself, you would own your life, take full responsibility of it, and use all your experiences and people as a mirror, as signals to show you where you want to be, where you need to be, where your heart wants to be. If you know your true self, that authentic self, you know what your authentic desires are. So you can create a vision. And towards that vision, take steps. Don't just wait for it. Take inspired action to create that life. Because you are a creator. You are that creative force, that consciousness. So don't let chance or luck or faith involve in this. Because these are the simplest forms of being a victim. You are not a victim. You are a creator. Remove those words from your vocab. Just take full control. Live the life by design, not by default. You deserve it because you love yourself. Collaborate with the universe by showing your self-love and self-worth to it. Let it do the magic for you. It will. It will. You don't need to hustle for it. Just love yourself. Take the inspired action. Create the life you want. It will do the magic for you. Trust me. So yeah, I think that's all there is about the practicality of love, but in essence, it's really just a feeling and being in love. Really, it's just feeling it, embodying it, because it is your true nature. There is really no separation. There is really no need to be separated from love. When you remove the barriers, when you remove judgments, remove limitations, conditions, all that shit that we learned for years, when you unlearn them and really just detach from that physical reality, physical and mental being, there is only the self, that pure love to feel, to observe, to embody. You don't need to do anything to feel that. You don't need to do anything to become that. It is already you. Just become more self-aware and know yourself and accept yourself. So far, you know how it relates to reality creation. When you don't love yourself, when you don't accept yourself, you don't accept the universe, you don't accept the energy, you don't accept the reality, and that you don't allow it, and that you communicate that unworthiness with the universe, with every people, with every situation, everything, really. So they know that you're not worthy of it, and they confirm to you, because everybody and every situation will confirm to you, no matter what you believe and what you practice in that regard is what everybody will confirm to it. So if you believe you're not worthy, if you believe you're not lovable, they will confirm, don't worry. And the universe will confirm. Everybody, everything will confirm to it. So it's better to change your beliefs, change your practice, change your mentality, and start loving yourself fully to see how they will confirm to you. So just let it do its work. Don't interfere with it. Don't put your blockages in between. Your only task is to remove, right? I hope this video helped. If you want to remove your blockages and fully love yourself and create from that love, you can check out my links below to work one-on-one with me. I love you so much, although maybe you don't love yourself that much. I really do love you so much. I'll see you in the next one.